Hi everyone, welcome to our first web series on PowerShell, that is Introduction to PowerShell. So here are the topics given which we are going to discuss in the first web series, that is what is PowerShell, history about PowerShell, what is the difference between Visual Basic scripting and PowerShell, how to install PowerShell, what about the basic console overview, that is ISE and the commandlet. So versions of PowerShell, understanding the extensions of PowerShell, and some of the facts which we are going to give in the end of this web series. So what this web series aims is to make you understand from the basic level of PowerShell to the advanced level. So everything we will try to cover. Hope you will like this. So let's begin with the first thing, that is what is PowerShell. So PowerShell is basically a very powerful command line shell which provides automation capabilities to the users like system administrators, so they can perform task based automation by using this PowerShell. So why we consider this PowerShell is so powerful, because it can provide configuration using DSC. It can perform monitoring, like if we want to monitor any of the services or process which is getting high, so this can be done. If you want to generate some reports, HTML reports or any CSV reports, it can generate. Further, if you want to create some mailboxes or even like managing websites with respect to IIS, all these are also possible through PowerShell. So hence we consider why this is known as PowerShell. So we are clear on this. So again, coming to this PowerShell, so it started in 2016 with the version 1, and as of now, like Windows 10 or 2012 R2, we have the latest update is 5.0, but also we have a 6.0 alpha which is currently installed on top of .NET Core, which we are currently using for the Linux boxes. So this is the overall understanding about what PowerShell can do and what it is all about. So coming to a second topic, that is history of PowerShell. So what history I can say is, like, it started in 2006 with the version 1.0, but before the start of PowerShell there was already a scripting language available for Microsoft, that was Visual Basic Scripting. But since Visual Basic Scripting was quite complicated and there are a lot of issues happened due to Visual Basic Script, like the virus which we all know, the I love you virus, which was spreading. So that was really very harmful for VBS. So with that we will see later on why we shouldn't what are the difficulties which we faced in Visual Basic Scripting can be recovered in PowerShell. So that was a big disadvantage for Visual Basic Scripting. So in order to recover that, Microsoft basically concentrated more on PowerShell. So there are multiple user friendly commandlets are available in PowerShell with respect like which we don't have in Visual Basic Scripting. We can't fetch all the internal details in Visual Basic Scripting, but what we can do in PowerShell. So apart from the com and the like, just going to a little bit of deep, apart from the com and WMI objects, PowerShell can also handle WSMan protocols or Windows remoting, which is sometimes not possible with respect to the WVS. So this is a basic difference between Visual Basic Scripting and PowerShell. Similarly, coming to our next topic, like let me show you a demo, like why VB script is considered as a so harmful. So I have two boxes at present currently. The machine which you can see, this is a 2012 R2 box, and one more machine I have, that is a Windows 7 box. Yeah, so in this machine I have created a VB script. So as you can see, this is a VB script with the .vbs file. So inside the script nothing much is there. It's just some I have added some numlock which will every six minutes it will try to send the numlock keys. But for example, suppose if some malicious code or some restart code is present in this specific a code. So when we execute this, any of the Visual Basic script, it directly gets executed. How to know this? Just we'll go task manager, and we can see there is a wscript.exe is running. I'm running a wscript.shell. So what is happening? It's running in the backend without the information of the user. So similarly, anyone can create this files. So, and if you are double clicking on directly, it will start executing in the backend. So suppose it can be used for your monitoring or sending any of your personal files over the internet or something. So this is too harmful in case of Visual Basic scripting. Now let's see what will happen if we create a PowerShell file and we will do a double click on it. So suppose I created the same test file. PowerShell extension, file extension is ps1. Yeah, so this is, so what is the basic difference is, if we double click this file, it will open as notepad. It will not open in any of the other tools provided by Microsoft. It will directly, for example, simply we are printing some text also. If we double click also, again it will open in text. So it will not run as an executable, which is basically happen in VB scripts. So this is a big advantage why PowerShell is being preferred more as compared to VB script. Now coming to the installation of PowerShell. So PowerShell is basically since I'm using 2012, if I just go and search for PowerShell, here you can see PowerShell and PowerShell IC, two versions are two PowerShells are already there. This is a 32-bit and this is our 64-bit by default. So this we can recognize. So by default this ISE, sorry, once again right, by default this ISE is also installed in 2012 R2, but in case of 2012 or 2008 R2 or even 2008, this feature is not available in by default. So what we need to do, we need to open server manager. For if this PowerShell IC is not available in your server, then you can open this, just add roles and features from a next role based next. Yeah, so just go to features, next one more. Yeah, so in this feature just scroll down, you will be able to see PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. So for me it is already installed, so you can see PowerShell IC and PowerShell 4.0 is already there, so this tick mark is there. Similarly, if PowerShell IC is not installed for you, you can just go and tick mark over there and you can perform installation. So basically what will happen is a hotfix will be updated, so and hence you will be able to get it. What in the case of Windows 7 client boxes already have that by default. So if we just go and type in the search PowerShell, you will easily get all these files, which I see, which is most probably is not available in server cases. So this is for 32-bit, this is for 64-bit. So if you want to know how this, so this was the installation of PowerShell, basically how you used to install. So suppose and one more thing we should know, that in Windows 7 client box the maximum version which we can install a PowerShell is version 4.0. so that means currently by default it is having 2.0 version PowerShell running on it, so we can upgrade up to 4.0. So coming next, so like how basically the console looks like. So I have already pinned this PowerShell console. Let me open it. Okay, so this is how the console looks like overall. It's similar to a command prompt earlier, but a PS will be written here. Similarly, the same properties whatever we used to see in the command prompt, it's the same. Now let's just check how PIC looks like. So just PowerShell IC. The similar kind of console will be available in your Windows 7 client boxes also. Yeah, so this is how IC looks like. So at present you can see three. So here you used to write commands, here it will display, and here is the command console. So any command you want to search for, you can easily search from here to get more details on it, like this. So this is the overall console. There are several things which we'll see later onwards. So this is how the console looks like. So basic console overview and versions. So since we are seeing this, so just let's check for some scripts. So what is the difference between, first of all let us know what is the difference between ISE and what is the difference between this your command console. So the one of the major difference is this, if you are writing big scripts, so that is not possible through writing through this command one. So this we can like multiple lines of command, and this is quite graphical. It is more able to, we will able to write in a more appropriate way over here, and it has several features like we can directly execute, or we can stop here, or if you want to particular selection we want to run, then we can use this run selection. So these features are not available in this command, but although the same commandlets can be executed here also, and as well as in IC as well. So for example, we are writing the PS version table. See, so when you write version, you can use a tab which is known as IntelliSense. So it is already available in your IC as well as in command prompt. So if I write $PS version and I give a tab, it will complete for you. Just put enter. So the first line which shows is the PowerShell version. So I can easily understand my PowerShell version is 4.0. What about here? If I just run this, see, here comes the output. Here we can execute, you can write our scripts in this console, and the output will be displayed here. Similarly, we have some debugging also available over here, which is not available in our command line consoles. So this is more benefit of IC. Okay, so this is about the version. Similarly, let's check the versioning in our Windows 7 machine. So this is the Powershell console of our Windows 7 machine. So just go and tab. So here we can see PS version 2.0. Even same we can, if we do a $host, we will get the version as 2.0. So let me tell you more about the versions of PowerShell. So at present Windows 10 have the latest 5.0 version, and coming to the server side, we are yet to have, like in 2016 we might be having, or 2012 R2 you can install this 5.0. Even in 8.1 you can upgrade to 5.0, which is the latest version. So if you are using a Linux which is currently the .NET Core, you can have this PowerShell 6.0 version as well. So coming to extensions, so extensions are basically, there are lots of extensions in PowerShell, so which you should know. Let me discuss here only. So like .ps1. .ps1 is basically the script extension. So whenever you write a script in ps1, you save it. Nice script. As you can see here also, there are lots of options showing. All these are extensions. So ps1 basically means a script. So I can see ps1 is there. So this is for that. See, now if I have, since I have created a script, how to execute from this cell. From here I can directly press F5 or I can play this to get this, but how to run the same from a command line? Just go to that desktop, sorry, desktop here. Okay, if I list down what all are there, I can, for listing I can use get child item, that is get hyphen child, just do a tab, and ls will also work, or even the old command, that is dir. So I can see this script. So either I can write, sorry, okay, dot slash my script. If I execute, I can execute it. So this is the way how you can run that script from here. So we are talking about the extensions. .ps1 is for the script extension. Similarly for modules, .psm1 is there if you have any PowerShell module. Similarly, if some session configuration you are managing in PSSC, we are just covering the important extensions. So this is session configuration. Okay. Similarly, if you are having a dictionary file or any data file, then PSD1 you can use. So it is basically a data file. Similarly, we have console files and more extensions. So always the main concept is to remember this PSM1, that is the module, PS1, and one more is the D1 data file. So these are the main extensions which of PowerShell, which we can understand later point of time. And the since let's see, like the older commands which we are used to work in any of the like Linux boxes or any of the Windows command line, they are working fine or not. Like, so for example, ping is the same. Ping command will work fine here as well. If you do ifconfig also, it will work the same way how it used to work. But there is similarly any command which you used to use net use, sorry, not use net user. So same commands will be can be used here as well. Okay, so I hope this is quite clear what is the difference between IC and the normal command shell. So this has lots of feature debugging, and further this command, the main feature over here is command tab is available, which you can turn on or off from here. So exactly, it's a lot of, suppose if I want to know, just now we have seen some version, sorry, we have done some child item, right? So here we can come to know what are the attributes are available, like directory, file, force, and all this. So later point of time we will understand what are all these properties all about, and what are parameters and everything we'll see in our next web series. Okay, so and the last topic, that is, did you know facts? After the each web series we'll give you some facts. So although this both looks quite similar, whatever I write here will be working there, but there are some things which will not work in IC, or some which will work in command line. So there's a slight difference. For example, there's a very good command in PowerShell, that is start transcript. Just use a tab to check the commands if you are having any difficulty. So what this basically does, whatever I will write, just put enter. Now whatever I write, like history, whatever I write, like dir, ipconfig, so it is making a record of whatever I am doing it. So if I want to stop this, stop transcript, So it has recorded everything whatever I have given the command, and it is kept in a file in my documents. So what is it? Like we used to do history command, like similar to that, it has recorded everything and it has stored in a file. If I open this file, I will see whatever I have done from that point of time. So this particular console recording is not possible through ISC. For example, if I write start trans, so have you noticed this one, start? See how it's very, very beautiful, it's coming. So start transcript, I'm just starting it. Let's execute this. So this returns, and this host does not support transcription. So there are some commands which will not work in IC as it is a GUI base. So similarly, if you suppose, for example, one more example I have, we go with ivconfig and we mostly use more parameters. So okay, it is very small. So anyways, if it is very long output is coming and we use more, this more function will also this more will also not work here. So what it does, it will not show you in crunches, it will show you directly whatever the output it comes, it will, the full output you will be able to see here. So like more what happens, there will be a limited amount of data. So this is the thing which you should know, that little bit of difference is there between ISC and the main console. So hope we are quite clear what PowerShell is, what all it can do also we have discussed, and this is how it looks, how to install PowerShell, and what are the basic like extensions. So then the next topic we will be covering some more advanced topics, so just be connected with us and do like and subscribe to our channel.